The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was buzzing with chatter. Alien leaders from different worlds gathered to discuss the latest news about Earth. They sat in a huge circular chamber, surrounded by shining screens that displayed images of various planets. The atmosphere was thick with tension, but also a sense of superiority. Many alien species believed that humans were weak and unworthy of respect. They thought of them as primitive creatures with no real power. Among the humans present was Alex, a young man with messy brown hair and curious green eyes. He felt out of place in the room full of aliens. As he listened to the council members speak, a feeling of unease washed over him. He had always been told that humans were inferior. But deep down, he felt something different, a spark of energy that made him feel alive. The leader of the council, a tall alien with bright blue skin and multiple eyes, stood up to address the group. "Today we discuss the humans and their recent activities," he announced, his voice booming. "They are nothing but a threat to the galaxy. We must ensure they remain in check." Laughter erupted around the room. Aliens of all shapes and sizes exchanged knowing glances. "What can they do?" A small green creature with long ears scoffed. "They barely have technology to rival ours." Alex clenched his fists. He was tired of hearing how humans were underestimated. He had always felt that there was more to humanity than met the eye. As he sat there, a strange sensation tingled at the back of his mind. It was almost as if a voice whispered to him, urging him to stand up and show the council what humans could do. Suddenly, an alien ambassador, a large being with tentacles, stepped forward. "I propose a demonstration of power," he said, his voice dripping with arrogance. "Let's see what the humans can really do." The council members nodded, intrigued. They turned to Alex, expecting him to fail miserably. Feeling the weight of their stares, he took a deep breath. As he prepared to speak, an alien nearby began to show off their own abilities. Bright lights flickered around the room, and a powerful gust of wind swirled from the alien's hands. The other council members clapped and cheered, clearly impressed. Seeing this display ignited something within Alex. A rush of energy surged through him, and before he knew it, his own abilities began to awaken. He had always felt different, but now it was as if the power inside him was finally ready to break free. His heart raced, and he felt a deep connection to the energy around him. Without thinking, Alex raised his hands. The room fell silent as everyone turned to him. His palms glowed with a soft blue light. He closed his eyes and focused, letting the energy flow through him. Suddenly, he unleashed a wave of psychic energy that rippled across the room. The wave crashed into the alien ambassador, sending him flying back against the wall. The force was so powerful that it shattered the nearby screens, sending sparks flying everywhere. Gasps filled the chamber as council members scrambled to regain their balance. Panic spread as the hall filled with smoke and debris. The once laughing aliens now looked shocked and frightened. Alex opened his eyes and felt a surge of confusion and power. He had done something incredible, something they never expected from a human. The leader of the council stood frozen, his multiple eyes wide with disbelief. The laughter had died down, replaced by a tense silence. In that moment, Alex knew that the Galactic Council would never see humans the same way again. The council members exchanged glances, realizing they had underestimated the humans. As the dust settled, Alex felt both terrified and exhilarated. He had just changed everything. Humans were no longer seen as weak. They had a power that could shake the very foundations of the Galactic Council. This was just the beginning. The Council had a new threat to consider, and Alex had proven that humans were capable of unbelievable things. The battle for respect had just begun. After the shocking event at the Galactic Council, life on Earth began to change. News spread quickly about Alex's display of psionic power. People everywhere were talking about what had happened. Some were amazed while others were afraid. They realized that humans were not as weak as the Galactic Council had believed. The leaders of Earth decided they needed to take action. They understood that if humans were to defend themselves against the Council, they needed to train more individuals like Alex. They formed a secret program to help humans discover and control their hidden powers. The program was called the Psionic Development Initiative. Alex was invited to be part of this special training. He felt a mix of excitement and fear. Could he really learn to control this strange power? He remembered the rush of energy he felt in the council chamber. It had been overwhelming. He worried that he might not be able to do it again. The training facility was located deep underground, away from prying eyes. The walls were lined with high-tech equipment, and bright lights illuminated the room. When Alex arrived, he saw other humans gathered, each one looking nervous and unsure. They were from all walks of life, teachers, students, and even some soldiers. A tall woman with short hair and a serious expression greeted them. "Welcome to the Psionic Development Initiative," she said. "My name is Dr. Sarah Lynn, and I will be your instructor. Here you will learn to control your abilities. It will be difficult, but you are the future of humanity." Dr. Lynn explained the basics of psionic powers. "Psionics is the ability to use your mind to influence the world around you," she said. "You can move objects, read thoughts, and even create protective shields. But you must learn to control these abilities. Otherwise, they can be dangerous." The first few days of training were challenging. Alex and the others practiced simple exercises to strengthen their mental focus. They learned to meditate, to clear their minds, and to visualize their powers. Some struggled while others quickly picked up the techniques. Alex found himself frustrated at times, but he was determined to improve. One day, Dr. Lynn introduced a new exercise. "Today, we will practice moving objects with our minds," she announced, pointing to a small table filled with various items: a pencil, a cup, and a book. "Focus on one object and try to move it without touching it." The students nodded, their faces filled with determination. Alex chose the pencil. He closed his eyes and concentrated. He imagined the pencil lifting off the table. At first, nothing happened. He felt a wave of doubt wash over him. But then he remembered the feeling from the council chamber, the energy flowing through him. He opened his eyes and focused again. This time, he felt a tingle in his fingers. The pencil wobbled slightly before rising into the air. Alex's heart raced as he lifted it higher. The other trainees cheered, and Dr. Lynn smiled. "Excellent work, Alex. You're making progress." Encouraged, Alex continued to practice every day. He began to develop a bond with his fellow trainees. They shared their fears and encouraged one another. There was Sarah, a quiet girl who could see glimpses of the future, and Ben, a former soldier with incredible strength. They all knew they were part of something special. As the weeks went by, Alex learned to control his powers more effectively. He could now lift heavier objects and create small shields to protect himself. However, he still struggled with his emotions. When he got angry or frustrated, his powers would spiral out of control. One evening, during a particularly intense training session, Alex lost control. He was practicing with Ben, trying to create a protective shield around them. But when he felt a wave of frustration, the shield expanded wildly, causing the walls to tremble. Dr. Lynn rushed over to calm him down. "Alex, you need to learn to control your emotions," she said gently. "Your power is connected to your feelings. Find your center and you will gain control." With Dr. Lynn's guidance, Alex began to focus on calming his mind. He realized that he had to accept his feelings and not let them take over. It was a turning point in his training. He started to see his powers as a part of himself, something he could embrace instead of fear. As the training progressed, Alex knew that they would soon face the Galactic Council again. He was no longer just an ordinary human, he was becoming a powerful psionic warrior. With each passing day, he grew more confident in his abilities. Together with his friends, he was ready to stand up for humanity. The day had finally come. After weeks of training, Alex and his fellow trainees were ready for their first mission. The Galactic Council had sent a fleet to Earth, and the leaders feared an attack. To protect their planet, the Psionic Development Initiative had formed a special team of psionics to defend humanity. The team was given a ship called the Star Guardian. It was sleek and silver, with bright blue lights along its sides. The control room was filled with advanced technology. Alex looked around, feeling both excited and nervous. He could sense the energy in the air, and he knew this mission would change everything. Dr. Sarah Lynn stood at the front of the room, her expression serious. "Listen up, everyone. Our mission is to intercept the Council's fleet before they reach Earth. We must show them that humanity will not back down," she said firmly. "Stay focused and work together. We are stronger as a team." Alex nodded, feeling a rush of determination. He had trained hard, and now it was time to put his skills to the test. He sat at one of the control panels, ready to help pilot the ship. Ben was next to him, his fingers dancing over the buttons. Sarah was in the back, focusing her mind to prepare for the upcoming fight. As the Star Guardian soared through space, the stars twinkled outside the windows. They soon spotted the enemy fleet, a massive group of alien ships moving toward Earth. Alex's heart raced as he saw their colors, dark red and black, intimidating against the backdrop of the bright stars. "Prepare for engagement!" Dr. Lin commanded. The crew moved into action. Alex felt the energy around him pulse. He knew they had to act fast. The enemy ships began firing their weapons, bright beams of light shooting through the darkness. "Incoming fire!" Ben shouted as he maneuvered the ship to avoid the blasts. Alex focused his energy, ready to protect his team. "Alex, create a shield!" Dr. Lin called out. Alex closed his eyes and concentrated. He imagined a strong barrier forming around the Star Guardian. Suddenly, a blue glow surrounded the ship, and the beams of light collided with it. The shield held strong, deflecting the enemy fire. "Nice work," Ben exclaimed. "Keep it up!" The enemy ships began to surround them, trying to cut off their escape. Alex felt the pressure build. He could sense the fear in the air, but pushed it away. They had trained for this. He was ready to fight. "Sarah, can you see their plans?" Dr. Lin asked, glancing back at her. Sarah nodded, her eyes closed in concentration. "I can see their movements. They're trying to flank us," she said urgently. "Let's counterattack," Dr. Lin ordered. "Alex, prepare to fire the weapons!" Alex opened his eyes and activated the ship's weapons. A series of bright beams shot out from the Star Guardian, hitting the nearest enemy ship. The explosion lit up the darkness of space, and cheers erupted in the control room. But the enemy was relentless. They retaliated, firing at the Star Guardian once again. Alex focused harder, maintaining the shield while also helping to aim their weapons. He felt the strain of using his powers, but he couldn't give up. "Ben, take us closer to that mothership," Dr. Lin commanded. "We need to disrupt their command center." With quick reflexes, Ben piloted the ship toward the larger enemy vessel. As they approached, Alex saw alien ships trying to stop them. "We have to break through," he shouted. "Hold on!" Ben replied, speeding the ship forward. Just then, a massive beam of energy shot toward them. Alex concentrated, feeling the heat of the blast as it neared. He extended his hands, channeling all his energy into a shield. The beam hit hard, but the shield held. Alex gritted his teeth, feeling the strain in his mind and body. "We're almost there!" he shouted, pushing through the pain. They broke through the enemy line, reaching the mothership. Alex quickly fired the weapons again, targeting the weak spots he had seen earlier. Explosions rocked the mothership, and alarms blared throughout the enemy fleet. "Keep attacking!" Dr. Lin urged. The crew continued to fire, and slowly they began to gain the upper hand. Finally, the mothership started to retreat. The remaining enemy ships followed, realizing they had underestimated the humans. The Star Guardian had proven its strength. As the fight ended, Alex felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had won their first battle in space. Together, they had shown the Galactic Council that humans were not to be taken lightly. The team cheered, their spirits high, but Alex knew this was just the beginning. There would be more battles ahead, and they had to be ready. The Galactic Council would not give up easily, and humanity was prepared to fight for their place in the galaxy. Back on Earth, news of the battle spread quickly. The victory of the Star Guardian over the Galactic Council's fleet shocked the universe. For years, humans had been seen as weak and powerless. Now they had proven that they could fight back. In the heart of the Galactic Council, chaos erupted. The council members were gathered in their grand chamber, a vast room filled with colorful alien delegates. Holographic screens showed reports of the battle. Many of them were furious. "What is happening?" yelled a tall, blue-skinned alien named Zorath, slamming his fist on the table. "How could a small group of humans defeat our fleet?" Another member, a green-skinned alien with large eyes, spoke up. "They have psionic powers. We underestimated them," she said, her voice shaking with anger. "We should have prepared for this." "Prepare for what?" Zorath snapped. "These humans have shown they are a threat. We must take action before they become stronger." Meanwhile, the leaders of Earth watched the Council's response from their command center. Dr. Sarah Lynn stood before a large screen showing images of the Council members arguing. "This is exactly what we wanted," she said to Alex and the team. "They are in chaos. Now is the time to make our move." Alex felt a mix of excitement and fear. He knew the Council would not back down easily. "What do we do next?" he asked. Dr. Lin replied, "We need to send a message to the Galactic Council. They must understand that we will defend ourselves. We can't let them attack us again." The team quickly began to work on a plan. They decided to send a transmission to the Council, showcasing their abilities and strength. They wanted to show that humanity was not afraid and would fight for their survival. As the team prepared the message, the atmosphere was tense. Everyone felt the weight of the moment. Alex was nervous, but he was also determined. He had trained hard, and he wanted to show the universe what humans could do. Finally, the moment arrived. They gathered in the control room of the Star Guardian. Dr. Lin took a deep breath and activated the communication system. The holographic screen flickered to life, showing the members of the Galactic Council still arguing. "Attention, Galactic Council," Dr. Lin began, her voice steady. "We are the humans of Earth. You have underestimated us, but we are strong. We will not be bullied or attacked. We are ready to defend ourselves." The council members fell silent, their eyes widening in shock. They had not expected a direct message from the humans. Zorath quickly regained his composure and responded, "You are foolish to think you can stand against us. We are a powerful alliance." "Power is not just in numbers," Dr. Lin replied. "It is also in the will to fight. We have shown you our strength, and we will not back down. We challenge you to a meeting to discuss peace. If you refuse, we will prepare for war." The council chamber erupted in shouting. Members argued and pointed fingers at each other. Some wanted to accept the challenge, while others wanted to strike back immediately. Alex could see that they were in turmoil. "This is working," he whispered to Ben, who nodded in agreement. "Let them fight among themselves," Ben said, grinning. "We have the advantage now." As the arguments continued, the screen showed Zorath's face, his expression darkening. "You think you have won? We will not let a mere handful of humans dictate our actions."
"We will prepare for battle."
Dr. Lin's face remained calm. "You will see that we are not to be underestimated. We will gather our forces, and if you attack us again, you will face the consequences." With that, Dr. Lin ended the transmission. The team let out a cheer. They had stood up to the council, and now they had a chance to negotiate peace. But deep down, Alex knew the council would not back down easily. He could feel the tension building. "What if they attack us again?" he asked, worry creeping into his voice. Dr. Lin placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We will be ready. We have trained hard, and we have each other. Together we can face whatever comes next." The team knew they had to prepare for the worst. They returned to their training, sharpening their skills and developing new strategies. Alex focused on improving his powers, practicing to strengthen his shields and increase his offensive abilities. As they worked, the news from the Galactic Council grew darker. The report spoke of unrest among the members. Some were calling for war, while others wanted to negotiate. The chaos in the council was a sign that the tides were turning. Alex felt a sense of hope. They were no longer just humans, they were warriors. They would fight for their place in the galaxy and protect their home. With each passing day, he grew more confident. He knew that together, they could face anything the Galactic Council threw their way. They were ready for whatever came next, and they would not back down. The time for peace had passed. Tension filled the air as the Galactic Council prepared for war against Earth. Alex and his team were on high alert, ready to defend their planet. Dr. Sarah Lin called an emergency meeting in the command center of the Star Guardian. "We have received reports that the Council is sending a massive fleet toward Earth," she said, her voice firm. "This is it. We must be ready for the final showdown." Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. This was what they had trained for. The time had come to protect their home. The room buzzed with energy as everyone worked together to prepare for battle. Dr. Lin explained the plan. "We will intercept the fleet before they reach Earth. Our goal is to disable their ships and force them to retreat. Remember, we must work together. Our psionic powers are our greatest strength." As the team readied the ship, Alex focused on his abilities. He had practiced creating strong shields and powerful blasts of energy. He was determined to use everything he had learned. He could feel the energy swirling around him, and he knew he was ready. The Star Guardian launched into space, flying toward the incoming fleet. The stars blurred as they moved quickly. Soon, the enemy ships came into view, huge dark vessels that filled the void of space. "There they are," Ben said, his eyes wide with determination. "Let's show them what we've got." Dr. Lin took a deep breath. "Prepare for engagement," she commanded. The crew sprang into action, each member focused on their task. As they approached the enemy fleet, Alex could sense the fear and anger from both sides. The Galactic Council was ready for battle, but they were not expecting the humans to fight back with such strength. The Star Guardian entered the fray, dodging incoming fire from the enemy ships. "Alex, create a shield!" Dr. Lin shouted as beams of light shot toward them. Alex closed his eyes and focused, conjuring a powerful barrier that surrounded the ship. The bright beams hit the shield but were deflected, creating a dazzling display of lights. "Nice job," Ben cheered, steering the ship closer to the enemy. "Let's fire back! Firing weapons!" Alex announced, pressing buttons on the control panel. Energy blasts shot from the Star Guardian, hitting the nearest enemy ship. The explosion illuminated space and cheers erupted in the control room. But the enemy was relentless. Ships surrounded them, trying to cut off their escape. "They're coming from all sides!" Sarah yelled, her voice filled with urgency. "Stay focused," Dr. Lin urged. "We can't let them surround us." "Alex, can you sense their movements?" Alex closed his eyes, feeling the energy of the enemy ships. He could sense their intentions. "They're trying to flank us!" he shouted. "We need to break through their line. Let's do it!" Ben shouted, pushing the ship forward. They plunged into the middle of the enemy fleet, dodging fire from all directions. Alex concentrated harder, using his powers to create shields around them as they maneuvered. "Keep firing!" Dr. Lin commanded. "We need to create a path." The crew worked together, firing blasts and maintaining shields. Alex could feel the energy of his teammates growing stronger as they fought side by side. He opened his mind, amplifying his powers to protect the ship and his friends. Suddenly, the enemy mothership loomed ahead. "That's the command ship," Ben said, his eyes focused. "We need to take it down!" "Alex, are you ready?" Dr. Lin asked, determination in her voice. Alex nodded, feeling the power surge within him. "Let's do this!" As they approached the mothership, Alex focused all his energy into one powerful blast. The ship shook as he released the energy. A massive beam shot toward the mothership, striking it directly. The explosion was incredible. The mothership shuddered and began to break apart. The remaining enemy ships faltered, unsure of what to do next. "Now's our chance!" Dr. Lin yelled. "Keep attacking!" With renewed strength, the crew pressed on, firing at the remaining enemy ships. One by one they fell, their lights flickering and fading into darkness. Finally, the last ship surrendered. The Galactic Council was in chaos, and the humans had proven their strength. The Star Guardian floated among the wreckage of the enemy fleet, victorious. Cheers filled the control room as Alex and his team celebrated. They had fought bravely and defended their planet. The Galactic Council had underestimated them, but now the tables had turned. "We did it!" Alex shouted, filled with joy. "We won!" Dr. Lin smiled, pride shining in her eyes. "This is just the beginning. We have shown the galaxy that humans are not to be taken lightly." As the Star Guardian turned back toward Earth, Alex felt a sense of hope. They had faced their fears, and together they had triumphed. Humanity was no longer weak. They were warriors, ready to defend their home against any threat. The journey ahead would be long, but they would face it together. The universe would remember this day as the moment when humans stood up for themselves and proved their worth in the stars.